Welcome back to the Auction Brief, cutting through the narratives and the noise to bring you the best auction draft insight and strategy in the business. And now here's your host, Drew Davenport.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for episode 20, Kickers and Defenses. I can almost hear some of your eyes rolling. I know talking kickers and defenses is not that exciting, but I've had several questions about it on Twitter, and so I do want to answer it. And I do believe that in order to become a well-rounded auction drafter, you have to understand how to draft all positions, not just the fun ones. Golden rule number 1, never pay more than $1 for a kicker. That's correct. Never. But what about Justin Tucker? No. But what about Harrison Butker? Nope. But what about never? There is ample evidence that you can't predict which kicker is going to repeat as the number 1 kicker from year to year. Of course, there are good kickers on good offenses, and that's something you should aim for. But if you're really hung up on getting a good kicker, then nominate Justin Tucker for $1. And if he goes for 2 or 3, fine, let somebody else pay that. And if you get him for $1, great, you locked him up. And one final thing on kickers. Reserving your kicker nomination is a great way to essentially punt a nomination later in a draft when you don't want to call out a player that you want. The value of using up that kicker nomination late in the draft when you need it is far superior to the benefits you'll get from having one of the top kickers. And as for defenses, it's the exact same thing. Don't spend more than $1, with one exception. If you play in a league where defensive scoring is higher, it's okay to spend more than $1, but don't spend more than 2 to 3% of your cap. In the end, as a general strategy for kickers and defenses, remember 3 simple things. First, the position is easily streamable through the season. Second, both positions are extremely hard to predict. And finally, and most importantly, having your kicker and defense nomination still left late in an auction draft is very valuable for when you want to punt, when you're running low on money. And that is your simple guide to kicker and defense drafting in an auction. And before I go, I want to give a quick shout out to Nick Ganaris. He's been a loyal and supportive listener. Thanks, Nick. The Auction Brief is adjourned.